wanted to do the challenge of answering some assumptions about me, because I do feel there's been a lot of misinformation, from death rumors to just a lot of lies, fake profiles, and I feel like we need to set the record straight. So I asked you what your assumptions are about me, and we are going to get into those today. First assumption. You haven't seen So Hanya Bridge Over Troubled Water. I haven't, because I don't know what that is. You seem somewhat agoraphobic, and it's scary that you left treatment so soon. Well, I would say during COVID, I definitely dealt with some agoraphobia. I think a lot of us did. If you don't know, agoraphobia is when you're kind of scared of being in public because you're afraid something's going to happen, like fainting or a panic attack. And for me, I've had fainting and panic attacks, so I definitely did deal with that a little bit. And I've dealt with having meetings with people or hanging out with people, and definitely having a fear of fainting, or mainly fainting, because the thing with fainting or seizures is you cannot control them and you just don't know when they're going to happen. And so I've dealt with that fear, but I've never ever let it stop me, because I refuse to let anything like anxiety or depression stop me from living my life. I just refuse to, because or else what's the point of living? I push through it, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better, and it really isn't even an issue, because at this point it's just like, don't even be embarrassed of what people think. If you faint, you faint. You can't control it. Who cares? So I'm really over that, and it's scary that you left treatment so soon. I was cleared, because I was doing really well. I think people have a very big misunderstanding of my disorder and how it started and what it was, and because the reason why it got so bad was because of just certain elements that I couldn't control, and so there was a lot of other stuff going on. But I was always open to eating. I was never somebody who refused it. I wanted to get better. I wanted to live a life for God, which I think we all should. And I think it's ridiculous when people kind of can treat somebody with an eating disorder like a second-class citizen, because, so many people have eating disorders, like whether it's bulimia, binge eating disorder, anorexia, other non-specified eating disorder, orthorexia, which totally should be a disorder. And also, you can't live your life in treatment. Because it's easy to get better in treatment, but the real test is living life and getting better. And for me, it was so important for me to get back to living my life, for that to be the test. That you are very kind, generous, and very nice. Thank you. I definitely try to, absolutely. That your parents aren't doing enough to help you. My parents do everything to help me, and also, truly, my family life is really nobody's business. It's something that kind of people exerted themselves in, and I'm not somebody who has any interest in airing out my dirty laundry to the world when it comes to other people's privacy, because that's not my business and that's not my place, but my parents are great. You really don't have an eating disorder. Are you still gaining healthy weight? We care about you. Well, I don't think I have a classic eating disorder, which I'll say that because I think the health issues complicated it a lot. And I think it had a lot to do with pain and allergies, which is what made it so bad. And then when you also have body dysmorphia on top of pain when you eat, of course it's going to get bad. But I definitely would still call it an eating disorder and something that needs help. Luckily, mentally, I feel pretty good. Like, I know how to eat, and so, which we all do. I think it's just a very misunderstood disorder, to be honest. But, I was diagnosed with it, so, I'm just going to do whatever I can to live a healthy life and live for God and glorify God and be better. That you're doing better and you look healthier. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Honestly, physically, it's still an issue, but it's not as bad as it was before, because I can get through the allergies, even though the allergies are still bad, but the dysphagia was rough. The dysphagia was you just couldn't swallow anything. And I was so stubborn. I was like, I don't want to live my life on a tube, because who wants to? And it's like anybody, I know I get so much hate when I say this, but like anybody would, if you want to gain 20 pounds, you want to gain it through eating food that tastes good and not through a tube in your nose. I think most everybody would agree with me with that, but unfortunately at that point it just was not an option. And thank you for saying you're proud of me. I really appreciate it. That you are very kind and caring. Oh, thank you. I try to. I think being kind is so important and so underrated, and I don't think people are like not. I just don't think people are kind enough a lot of times in the world, and I think we need a lot more kindness and mainly empathy. Like, empathy is so important and so lacking in this world, because sometimes I just feel like we live in such a culture of narcissism where everybody just doesn't have empathy, and it's like you just really have to understand where people are coming from, what their life's experience have been, before you just judge them and go in, and I think everybody should do that. Just a question, you're feeling good? I'm definitely feeling better, and luckily I have more energy, which is nice. You are afraid of death. I'm actually like the least scared of death ever. That's why a lot of people were concerned for my mental health, because people would be like, you're gonna die, and I'd just be like, cool. Like, I'm surprisingly a little bit more of a morbid person, and I'm very religious, so I'm really not that scared of death. I feel like it's something you can't control. All of us are gonna have to face it one day, and it could come any time. Like, you just don't know. So I feel like living in fear of death is just living in torture. Never give up kind of girl. Oh, thank you, but that's definitely true, maybe to a fault. I think sometimes I take it too far. I just like, if I really want something, I just keep going till I get it and just never give up, and it's probably kind of bad. You love all your fans. I do. I love all the haters too, I really do. I just love everybody who will like give me the time of day, and if people hate on me, I see where they're coming from. I mean, I see how like some of my videos are annoying, and if they come on your For You page, you'd just get annoyed. I probably would too. And I understand where people who maybe didn't do things that helped me in the disorder, but were trying to help. I see where they were coming from and appreciate their intentions as well, and obviously there are so many amazing people who are just so kind, and I just love them all, like love all of you so much, and I just feel like you really are my friends, and I wish I had more time to like talk to more of you and go on DMs and reply to every single comment. I try my best to reply to every DM and every comment, because it's really fun to connect with people, and especially like the more open and honest I've been, it's been really nice, because somehow it's attracted a lot of people who have gone through the same things. And in my life I always felt very isolated with those things, but meeting other people who deal with chronic illness and have dealt with like anorexia and eating disorders and anxiety and depression, it's made me feel so much more understood and so much more alone, because I always felt very, very alone, and so it's really nice. Sing every time you're in the car. That's true. That's very true. I do sing every time that I'm in the car, for sure, because who wouldn't want to sing every time? I'm obsessed with singing. Singing is like everything to me. You're 5'5". I'm actually not 5'5". I'm a little bit shorter. I'm 5 foot, but you know, I wouldn't change that for the world. I used to hate being short. It used to be something that I didn't like about myself, but now I really do like it, and I think it's kind of fun, and it's a part of who I am. It's part of my genetic makeup, and God made me that way. My favorites. More coming soon. Anyways, those are the assumptions. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending your assumptions in. I really, really appreciate it. And by the way, all of my music is linked down below in the description, so please make sure to check that out. I would love to hear what you think of my music, and if you want to hear any more music, please let me know what type of direction you want me to go into. Also, all my other socials are linked down below as well, and I have a lot of fun projects coming up, so please make sure to stay tuned. Love you.